5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you all for being here. I'd like to follow up on the questions regarding the August 29th drone strike that killed Zamari Ahmadi, a worker for a Southern California-based aid group, and 9 of his family members, including 7 children. And General McKenzie, you called the strike a tragic mistake, and I think we can all agree with that characterization. This is an open hearing, so I'm not going to ask about the specific intelligence that led to the strike. But General Milley, you said even after the truth was revealed that there was a reasonable certainty that the target was valid. So I would like to know, do you have that same level of confidence in the intelligence that you have had for similar strikes carried out under DOD's authority?
Yes, I do. I mean, intelligence is not perfect. The intel, as Representative Johnson just said, or Vice just said, it's never perfect. We're not going to get perfection in the world of intelligence. They speak in terms of probabilistic language, what is more likely than not, and I believe that we have good reason to have confidence in our intelligence systems. They're not perfect, but we have good reason to have confidence in them, and I think that's been expressed over time in the accuracy and precision of these strikes.
I understand.
This one strike was bad. It was tragic. It was horrible.
Yes.
But that is not to say that the intelligence system as a whole is wrong.
Okay. But given that we've actually had multiple of these mistakes that we already know about, including the AC-130 gunship attack in 2015 that destroyed an MSF hospital and killed 42 civilians, what assurances can you give us and the American people that our drone program has adequate safeguards? And Secretary Austin, you said that the department has endeavored to learn from this latest mistake. What have you learned?
Thanks. Again, I would just remind you that I have directed a review of this operation, and so I won't make any comments on specifics here because that review is ongoing. But in terms of our commitment to learning from all of our operations, we remain committed to doing that, and we are specifically concerned whenever there is an inadvertent loss of life and injury to civilians. And so we take that very seriously, and we hold ourselves accountable for that. So.
Well, great. And we in this committee will be looking forward to seeing the results of that review and also having accountability. General McKenzie, yesterday when asked by Senator Mark Kelly about the over-the-horizon counterterrorism, you said, and I quote, "As we go forward and our ability to create the ecosystem that allows you to see on the ground and put it together is going to be harder in places like Afghanistan," end quote. I know many of my colleagues have already asked about what this means for our ability to counter groups like ISIS-K. I have a different question. What does that mean for our ability to prevent civilian casualties so that we don't see another drone strike like the one that took place in Kabul? And if the ability to prevent civilian casualties becomes harder, will you and CENTCOM take extra precautions in selecting target packages, or how are you planning to deal with this extra uncertainty?
Representative, thank you for the question. The strike that was undertaken in Kabul on the 29th was a self-defense strike. It was taken because we believe there was an imminent attack developing against our forces at HKIA. So that's very different than the type of strike we would undertake in an over-the-horizon scenario. And the principal differences would be this. We would not be under the acute pressure of time because we thought the attack was imminent. Because if we're striking a target in Afghanistan, there's actually no imminency to that attack. You know, we're talking weeks and maybe months rather than hours or minutes. So you have opportunity to develop pattern of life. You have the opportunity to apply all the other disciplines of intelligence that can help us, whether that's signal, image, human intelligence, and we would work hard to try to reconstitute that to a degree, and I'll talk more about that in a future classified session with you. But it would be wrong to believe that the strike in Kabul, which I've acknowledged went badly wrong, is the prototype that we would employ for past or future over-the-horizon strikes.
Well, thank you. I will look forward to working with you all to make sure that we do that well, and I will note your comments on imminence next time we have questions about war powers with some of these strikes. But with that, I will yield back.
Thank you. And